Hello, my name's Max Holzner and I'm the chair of Sydney Eisteddfod. So my first memory of Sydney Eisteddfod predates actually my involvement. My violin teacher wrote to the Eisteddfod asking on my behalf whether I could receive some support for the purchase of a wonderful violin bow. One of the directors, Thomas Wenkart, with whom I now serve on the board, and that's a lovely connection, gave half of the funds and the other half was Hazel Hawke. A few years later, I think I was about 16 at the time, I competed with that bow. The importance of Sydney Eisteddfod to the arts community has to do, I think, with the special way in which the Eisteddfod engages and fosters young people and young adults, right from the very beginnings of their journey as a dancer in speech and drama and music and performance, all the way up to the very beginnings of the profession. My favourite event at the Eisteddfod would have to be violin, which is probably unsurprising. But I would say that a recent favourite is really the ballet finals and also the opera. I had the good fortune to bring my daughter, who's 8, to both of those finals last year, and it had an enormous impact upon her. She's still talking about it months later. What would I say to someone thinking of getting involved with the Eisteddfod? I'd say that beyond the coaching, the feedback, the support, and certainly the chance to compete and gain prizes, I would say that it's a chance for friendships and for coming to know your peers. For example, someone with whom I work closely now through Westville is Christian Winter. He's a fabulous violinist. He's now the artistic director of Westville and I'm the chair of that organisation. But he beat me back in the day in that open section. There are no hard feelings, but we definitely grew together. One word that describes Sydney Eisteddfod would have to be community. You've got the performers and their friendships, the families, of course, supporting them, and then I suppose the larger family of volunteers, right through to the staff themselves. It's a wonderful team. One of the most precious moments for me last year was watching Sam Hooper playing at the Zenith and seeing the joy on his face and just the surprise when he found out he was going to receive a new violin thanks to a partnership that Sydney Eisteddfod has with the Sydney String Centre. It took me right back to my memories receiving the violin bow from Sydney Eisteddfod. That experience brought me full circle back from my early memories receiving that bow through to now being in this privileged position. How special it is for me to be able to give back now. It's a privilege to be involved with the Eisteddfod at this time in particular, coming out of the pandemic. There's not only the return to performance and the value that's almost our sense of its height, but there's a huge amount of renewal within the organisation itself. It's a time of challenge. It's a time of great change, but it's also a time of growth. And I can't wait to see where this next chapter takes us.